Hello fellow shapers, back in my little spot here. Haven't been here for a while. It's been frozen over completely. It's been inaccessible by the roads, as this is a big dip and the sun doesn't really get enough height to penetrate the depth, so it can be a week after the frosts it can still linger here. So it's kind of got its own little climate in this dip. But that said, it's the Tinker tent held out through all those adverse conditions, minuses and huge amounts of frosts, not quite snow, but severe frosts, severe temperature drops, and huge amounts of rain. It's called a beast from the east, and I think we got away quite lightly really. It could have been a lot worse, especially being on the east side of the country. So yeah, held out fine, perfect. I've just made a few adjustments on the chimney, get a bit more height on it, and secured it a little bit more. So I guess the plans for the day are going to be finish my coffee and collect wood in the name. I'd like to find an old bit of oak or ash, and also, I don't know, we'll work it out as we go along, but stay tuned. So let's try and find some wood. I'm going to take with me my little knapsack in case I find anything interesting. I shall also carry my axe in there, rusty old axe, but good enough, and my battered old bow saw, which is holding out well. It's been a long time and it's still quite tense. It will need upgrading before long, but yeah. So here we have the beautiful ash tree. It's got a greeny grey texture to it, very smooth and very straight, pole straight. It's one of my favourites. I'm not really looking for too much ash because it burns quite quickly. I'd really like some oak. Not that I would touch anything living anyway, but I'm sure there is some other ash laying around here, but not many oaks. There is also quite a lot of Scots pine around here as well. Fallen one. Now I'm sort of looking for some fat wood as well. That's always on the list, but I shall continue. We found a limb here that's fell off the tree. It looks to be a couple of years. It's starting to get a bit of fungus, but it's very, very solid still. It means it's going to be quite hard work, for one. Whereas if I was to find a nice rotten piece, which I can't actually see laying around, You can just take the spongy stuff off and get at the heart, and it'll more than likely be dry, and also a lot easier to gather. But that said, I wouldn't mind saying taking that. Nice bit off there maybe. That'd keep the fires blazing for a good couple of hours. But, yeah. So I'll mark that point and come back to it. Yeah, so now we're entering the oak section of the woods. Pretty much all oak, a few sycamore. And yeah, the odd birch still. But as we go up this hill, obviously we're coming out of the marsh. And I might in a future date come here to camp because the ground is just so soft. It's a bit exposed though, especially this time of year. In the summer months, all this bracken would be up and it would provide enough shelter, but at the moment, far too open. So we're looking for a dead bit of oak. And this is too far. So right now I've just stumbled into what you could only call as rabbit warrens, I believe, hares as well maybe, but there is just holes blooming everywhere, so it's a massive warren. It stretches beyond belief really how far it goes. I guess it's all linked underground. I don't want to disturb this area too much because this is obviously well used. If you look there, you can see a trail through the leaves. Of course, if I was a hunter, there would be snares along that trail. But no, I ain't going to do that. I like these little animals as much as I like the trees. Just wish I wouldn't fall down, the buggers. But yeah, unfortunately I'm going to have to spend a little time here because I've got exactly what I was looking for, which is quite obviously a piece of oak. Just scan that along there. I love the smooth finish that you get on oak as it dries, and it's above the ground mostly, for the most part, so it should be relatively dry. So I'm going to attack this and I'll get back to you afterwards. Hello guys, just a couple of tips here. The fulcrum you might see supporting that log, always a good idea to stop the blade being nipped. Also, just a bit of a warning about building up your core body temperature. If you start sweating, then you should probably calm down on the effort a little bit, because the body temperature is going to rise, your core body temperature will rise, especially after a lot of effort, and you will sweat. So sweat has to be avoided if at all possible, because if there was a sudden change in temperature, quite a rapid change which can happen, and you're finished working, you're going to be sat there covered in sweat, and that is then going to go viciously cold to the same temperature as the wind pretty much, and then your core body temperature will drop extreme again. So from one extreme to the other extreme is a classic case hypothermic situation. If you're caught in this situation, the best bet is to use your survival bags, and any heat you can get going needs to be getting going.
if that means someone has to jump in the survival bag with you. But the clothes should be taken off as well, especially if they're wet. So yeah, try and learn from mistakes I've seen other people have.
Yeah, just let the blade do the work, is what I found. If you're in a hurry, yeah, you can try and zip through it, but the most energy effective way by a long way is just nice long simple strokes. There's not much weight on there is needed. Saying that, I'm out of bloody breath, but I have sawn up all this a bit of oak, so it's ready for transport. Just show you what I got. Unfortunately, that is a 10-minute hike back to the camp, but there should be enough fuel there for maybe 2 nights once it's all split up. A long, slow burning piece of oak, only a little bit damp. I wouldn't have minded finding it a little bit more rotten like this one over here, and then just chip away at the dead bits with the axe, but even this is still got a lot of burn in that, and it is worth drying it out because it's a gorgeous piece of oak. I'm still looking for a couple of things here, but I am going to start moving this oak. I'm looking for a rather awkward shaped piece of wood. Haven't found it yet, but we'll keep you posted. Just saw 4 young deer streak across there. I don't know whether it's because I'm putting a lot of energy into my work at the moment, but I could swear they were white and black, if not very dark colour. I'm not sure if deer go into that shade, do they? But as I say, I'm carrying a lot of wood around at the moment and getting quite exhausted, probably seeing colours where they perhaps aren't. One more journey. I left the blue bag there with the axe in it, just to identify where it was more than anything. Blue stands out. So there we have it. That's the wood gathered. Now I've just got to saw it. Oh, did you hear that? That's that big bird right up there. I doubt you'll be able to make it. I think it's a buzzard. In fact, I'd swear that's a buzzard. It's got a screech much like an owl. Not an owl, eagle. It's quite large, and there isn't many birds of prey really about these days, so it's always a pleasure. So I'm going to carry on, saw and chop this wood up, because we are running out of daylight already. There it goes. You might have caught a glimpse of that, I don't know. But we are running out of daylight quite rapidly here. The sun just doesn't go up in the sky, does it? But there you go. That's the seasons. Another little thing I've found is the thermos flask. I've found that to be really useful. I haven't got it here at the moment, but it's not much bigger than a 1 litre bottle. Pause that. It's not much bigger than a 1 litre bottle really. So why not carry some hot water in it to bring with you, and then you don't have to put the fire on, or your gas things, or your petrol, for most of the day, really, and you can get on with things instead of tending the fires or whatever's. And just pour yourself a cup. It's good for about 12 hours. And yeah, like I say, it's a bit more weight because it's metal, but size not much bigger. It's about the same size as a 2-litre bottle. So it's each to their own on that, isn't there? But I like my coffee and my tea, and also at night I can boil up a litre in here, my little 12-inch zebra pot, and then put that in the flask for the morning, because these things to cook and heat up water are probably the slowest I've experienced. I've used hexi blocks, trangias, just wood fires, gels. I've tried just about all of them, and yeah, this really is quite slow to get going in the morning, especially in these damp conditions. So I'm just going to carry on stirring this up until it becomes too bloody nice to resist it anymore. So, see you soon, guys. Right, it's time to serve this up. Let's check they're done. Ah, yeah. Perfection. So, I'm going to have one sausage and a bunch of potatoes and some onions. And there we go. Slap a bit of ketchup in there, and hopefully my stomach won't be screaming at me for the food anymore. See you soon. So there we have it. The sausage, scallops, fried onion, pita bread, ketchup, bonza, and I am going to wolf this down in seconds. I'm going to have 4 of these. As you can see, they're all pretty much there. So I'm going to get busy with the busy. One more left. Might as well get the kettle on while I'm eating this one. The kettle in the form of my little pot. And we'll just wait for that and scoff to this. Although I'm feeling rather full at the moment, bloated even, you know. I'm not a big eater, but 4 of these, I think most people would know it. Good morning. Looks like I'm going to have to head off quite early this morning because the pheasant shooters are out there shooting pheasants, and I don't really want to get too close to it all. I would guess they're about a mile away, but they're heading in this direction. So I'm gonna have to pack up my shit and get going. So it was a gorgeous night, really peaceful, good night's sleep, quite refreshed, but also I guess I'm ready to go home. So thanks for watching, guys. Take care of yourselves.